His modest family's fortunes worsened. John wanders the streets, confused, having not genuinely smiled in ages. Today, he passed an office building. He witnessed passers-by's happy grins, especially the suited man from a sports car. What's with these executives? I'm a product by a kind of like a superhero shopping. Oh, did you go to high school to become a buyer? No, you just need some data and nice people. So take care of yourself. At 27, John suddenly felt a holy longing deep within. He vowed to get the happiness too. He excelled in high school math and had years of sales experience. So John decided to interview at a finance company. But when he told his wife, all he got was a cold dose of sarcasm instead of support. Stop it, right? Not a superstar. Remember what that real star is doing next week. It's been 2 months since we last saw each other. We're buying 3 months worth next week. Despite his wife's constant blows, John didn't retreat. Next day, he applied for a securities firm internship. Unfortunately, he lacked both degrees and experience, and his awesomeness disappeared like stones in the... But John wasn't one to give up, easily rain or shine. He waited downstairs every day. Finally, after a month, he successfully caught the HR manager. He rushed up, eager to chat, but the HR manager was in a hurry to get to a meeting at headquarters. The manager dismissed him briefly, heading to the car. John pretended to go the same way and got in. Inside the car, John introduced himself enthusiastically. Meanwhile, the manager was engrossed in a Rubik's Cube, thinking it unsolvable. But John claimed he could do it before they parked. As he started solving it, the manager couldn't help but laugh. Don't waste your effort. That thing isn't for humans. But then, the manager was in for a surprise. John twisted and turned, and halfway through, he suddenly solved the first side. Soon he solved the second and third sides, astonishing the manager. John grew more concentrated, feeling extremely anxious, as this was his only chance. Before long, they arrived. The moment the cube was restored, John felt dizzy. Finally, he could breathe. The manager was wide-eyed with shock, starting to appreciate this young man. Even the driver couldn't help but look back. But once the manager left, John realized something was off. He forgot to pay the fare. He saw the $17 bill and calmly ordered the driver to turn around. Then he opened his wallet to see the few, but while waiting for the red light, he decisively chose to jump and run, all while apologizing as the driver chased after. The driver was continuously hurling curses, and at the exact moment when the subway door was on the verge of closing, John swiftly dashed inside, only to discover, however, that his luggage was left stuck outside. He held on for dear life while a big guy nearby tried to help, but there was no luck. Just like that, a month's worth of living expenses disappeared. John broke down and shouted in the subway, "This is life. No matter how tough life gets, he had to keep moving forward." Then he called his wife, asking how she and Christopher were doing. "I'm leaving," he said. "Christopher says goodbye, Linda." By the time he got home, his wife had left with their son. The manager called, informing him of an interview in 3 days before he could feel sad. On one side was a life-changing opportunity, and on the other was a shattered family. John felt like the whole world had abandoned him. The next morning, John intercepted his wife on her way to work, pleading for just a bit more time. "You want to leave?" "Yes, I want to leave." "Don't go. Just leave. Christopher is right beside me. You're the one dragging me down. Do you hear me? You're too weak. I'm just not happy. Then just get out of here." In despair, John sneaked his son back home, but the landlord arrived with an ultimatum. John begged for more days. He offered to repaint for free, and the landlord, "Tu es assez sur le clêtre for BF Turndayaki," agreed. But another problem arose. While John painted, the police arrived at too many unpaid fines. He was to be taken to the station for a day, and his interview was at 9 a.m. tomorrow. If he couldn't make it on time, had missed this one chance to change, and his son was at home. No matter how John pleaded, it was no use. He could only call his wife, begging her to take care of their son for one more day. That night, John was utterly exhausted. He finally made it to don the release. There were only 10 minutes left before his interview. He had no time to change clothes and sprinted toward the company direction. Painting stained clothes, he burst in and shook hands with the interviewers. After finally making it to the interview, John hesitated. What was he supposed to live on for 6 months without a paycheck? But if he turned it down and sold the remaining 6 machines, he might just scrape by. His life was once again spinning into confusion. The next day, John wasn't in the mood to work, so he took his son to the rooftop to play basketball. They hadn't had so much fun in ages. His son excitedly proclaimed he wanted to be a professional basketball player someday, but John instinctively replied, "That's a tough one. How could that possibly change?" Upon hearing this, his son instantly felt downcast, angrily tossing the ball aside with a look of despair. In that very moment, John abruptly realized he had misspoken. After contemplating, John earnestly told his son, "You need to have dreams, and you must protect them. People can't walk their own path, they'll say you can't. Go for what you want." This was advice for his son. He wanted to break free from the chains of poverty, and this job was his only shot at redemption. Since he couldn't afford an apartment, he and his son moved into the cheapest motel. Hey everyone! Today we're diving into how to chase your dreams against all odds. This will be a roller coaster of inspiration. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep this journey to your dreams alive.